I could freestyle about it, preach about it, or go off top of the head. But today I bought my notes so I could resurrect the dead. Yeah! Greetings and blessings to my navigators of the seven seas. I am your locksmith, your symbologist, and metaphysical tour guide, Flat Archie 5000. And I'm back with another one as we navigate through the land of Pioneer. Today we're going to unlock your Solomon's Temple to decode Hathor and the goddess of the Vulva. So as always, strap on your helmet and buckle up your spacesuit because we're on a mental voyage and we're about to take off before the walls of Jericho come crumbling down. In the tradition of entering Solomon's Temple, we must use a meditative master key to help us stay on the path of enlightenment. It is these divine words that have a literal, allegorical, and metaphysical message attached to them when understood in its proper context. So today we give honors and respect to a philosopher known as Rumi, who once said, "Ignorance is God's prison, knowing is God's palace." Let me repeat it one more time for those of you who may be lost in the wilderness by using a broken compass. There was once a wise mastermind who went by the name Rumi, who once said, "Ignorance is God's prison, knowing is God's palace." Go on and meditate on that, and click your heels 3 times while I ring this bell of enlightenment for that powerful meditative key of wisdom as you enter the corridors of your Solomon's Temple. Let's get to it, shall we? No time to waste. Okay, masterminds of Solomon's Temple, let's start off by stating that from a scientific and historical standpoint, the interpretation of Hathor as the goddess of the vulva in ancient Egyptian mythology can be understood within the context of cultural belief, social practices, and symbolic representations related to fertility, sexuality, and the divine feminine. Thus, in ancient Egypt, the Egyptians had a profound reverence for the cycles of nature and fertility, and a concept of creation and regeneration, which held great significance in their religious beliefs. Hathor, as a goddess associated with love, beauty, music, and fertility, was seen as a powerful deity who held sway over matters related to the creation and preservation of life. This included her association with the vulva, which served as a symbol of the feminine principle of fertility, childbirth, and the gateway through which new life was brought into the world. Hathor's role as a goddess of fertility was closely tied to her associations with sex. She was believed to have the power to bestow fertility on humans, animals, and the land, ensuring abundance and prosperity. Hathor was often invoked in rituals and ceremonies related to fertility, such as those performed during childbirth or agricultural festivals. In some texts, she was even referred to as the Lady of the Vulva, highlighting her connection to sexuality and reproduction. The depiction of Hathor as the goddess of the vulva can also be viewed within the broader context of ancient Egyptian religious symbolism and iconography. The Egyptians often used symbolic representations to convey deeper spiritual and philosophical concepts, with various gods and goddesses embodying different aspects of the natural world and the human experience. Vulvas, as symbols of fertility and creation, would have been a natural choice for representing the life-giving powers of the feminine and the divine principles of regeneration. In many ancient cultures, women were often revered for their roles as mothers and caretakers, with fertility and childbirth being seen as sacred and revered aspects of life. The goddess Hathor, as a symbol of female power and creativity, would have embodied these traditional values and served as a protective and nurturing figure for women during the childbirthing process. In occult and esoteric traditions, Sex is often seen as a potent symbol of the dualistic nature of reality, the union of opposites to create harmony and balance. This concept of polarity is central to many mystical teachings, where the interplay of light and darkness, masculine and feminine, and other dualities are explored to reveal deeper truths about the nature of existence. Thus, sexual symbolism in occult traditions often relates to the concept of creative power and the regeneration of life force and energy. Just as physical union between two individuals can create new life, the symbolic union of opposites within oneself can lead to the creation of spiritual energy and transformation. The act of sex, when viewed symbolically, becomes a metaphor for the alchemical process of transmuting base desires and impulses into higher spiritual awareness and consciousness. Hathor, within the context of alchemy, represents the symbolism of sex, which can be understood as representing the union of the divine masculine, represented by the master builder as the seeker of light and wisdom, and the divine feminine symbolizing the receptive and nurturing aspects of creation. This union of masculine and feminine energies mirrors the alchemical concept of the union of opposites to create the philosopher's stone, a symbol of inner transformation and spiritual enlightenment. Let's ring the bell for that. The vulva, as a symbol of creation and fertility, is often associated with the concept of the womb, the sacred space where new life is nurtured and brought into existence. In many esoteric traditions, the womb is seen as a symbol of the cosmic matrix from which all life emerges, embodying the divine principles of creative potential and manifestation. Within the context of occultism, the symbolism of the vulva can be interpreted as representing the fertile ground from which new ideas, insights, and spiritual growth can emerge. The vulva is also a symbol of receptivity and openness, reflecting the importance of being open to receiving spiritual insights, wisdom, and guidance. Just as the vulva is a receptive space capable of receiving and nurturing new life, individuals who seek higher levels of truth may be encouraged to cultivate an attitude of openness and receptivity to the mysteries of the universe and teachings of divine consciousness. Thus, the symbolism of the vulva can serve as a reminder to navigators of the seven seas to remain open to new experiences, knowledge, and perspectives in their quest for spiritual growth and enlightenment. Thus, it is here that we discover Hathor and her sacred sanctuary by being referred to as the divine possessor of the Holy Grail. When considering the relationship between the esoteric meaning of the Holy Grail and the female vulva, this interpretation of the Holy Grail is used as a metaphor for the sacred and mysterious nature of the female reproductive system. The female vulva as the source of life and creation, which is seen as a vessel or chalice that holds the potential for transformation and spiritual awakening. In this interpretation, the Holy Grail represents the divine feminine energy and the power of creation and regeneration that is inherent in the female body. The act of seeking the Holy Grail can be seen as a symbolic journey of inner exploration, self-discovery, and the quest for spiritual enlightenment, much like the journey of exploring and understanding the female vulva and its mystical qualities. Thus, across different cultures, Hathor's sexual influences manifested in various ways. In ancient Greece, she was equated with the goddess Aphrodite, who was also associated with love, beauty, and fertility. Both goddesses were worshipped in temples dedicated to sensual pleasures and were often invoked in rituals related to marriage and procreation. In Hindu mythology, Hathor's attributes were similar to those of the goddess Lakshmi, who was worshipped as the goddess of wealth, prosperity, and fertility. Like Hathor, Lakshmi was believed to bring blessings and abundance to those who honored her, particularly in matters of love and family. In African mythology, Hathor's influence can be seen in the figure of Oshun, a Yoruba goddess of love, beauty, and fertility. Oshun is often depicted as a beautiful and sensual woman, adorned with gold jewelry and carrying a mirror. She is revered for her ability to bring joy and prosperity to her worshippers, particularly in matters of love and relationship. Thus, in modern times, Hathor's sexual influences continue to resonate with many people who seek to connect with their own sensuality and sexuality. Some individuals invoke Hathor in rituals or meditations to cultivate a sense of pleasure and abundance in their lives, drawing on her energy to embrace the life force of manifestation. Let me ring the bell for that. Furthermore, in scientific context, the symbolism of Hathor as the goddess of the vulva can be understood as a representation of the biological and reproductive aspects of the human sexuality. The vulva, as the primary female reproductive organ, plays a crucial role in the process of conception, pregnancy, and childbirth, which were closely linked to religious beliefs and practices, with rituals and ceremonies dedicated to ensuring the health and well-being of mothers and children. Additionally, the association of Hathor being guardian and protector of the vulva may also reflect the ancient Egyptians' understanding of the interconnectedness of sexuality, fertility, and the cycles of nature. The symbolism of the vulva as a life-giving gateway and universal portal of cosmic proportions are divine descriptions of regenerative forces that aligns with the broader cosmological beliefs of the first spiritually advanced humans on the planet, who viewed the natural world as interconnected and imbued with divine power and purpose. That was so good, I'm going to say it again, but I'm going to ring the bell for it. Additionally, the association of Hathor being guardian and protector of the vulva may also reflect the ancient Egyptians' understanding of the interconnectedness of sexuality, fertility, and the cycles of nature. The symbolism of the vulva as a life-giving gateway and universal portal of cosmic proportions are divine descriptions of regenerative forces that aligns with the broader cosmological beliefs of the first spiritually advanced humans on the planet, who viewed the natural world as interconnected and imbued with divine power and purpose. I could say it again, but I won't. You just have to rewind it. You see, masterminds of Solomon's Temple, Hathor's role as the goddess of the vulva is a reflection of the holistic worldview, which recognized the sacredness of the feminine principle and the vital role it played in the cycle of life and creation. Thus, the vulva is the portal through which life is brought into the world and is associated with the cosmic womb from which all existence emerges. In this sense, Hathor as the goddess of the vulvas is an honorary representative of the creative power of the divine feminine. Question: why is this knowledge important, and why should one concern themselves with Hathor? And does this information play a role in our lives today? Answer: you see, my navigators of the seven seas, Hathor's association with the vulva is interpreted as a reminder of the transformative power of sexual energy and its potential to bring about profound change and spiritual awakening. The vulva of the dark cosmic matter is the sole architect used as the building block of galaxies, stars, planets, and all visible structures in the universe. I don't know if you heard me on that. I'm going to say it again. The vulva of dark cosmic matter is the sole architect as the building block of galaxies, stars, planets, and all visible structures in the universe. Let's ring the bell for that. Thus, it is here where we unravel the mysteries and secrets of the Philosopher's Stone in association to atoms, to Adam. I'm going to say it again. Atoms, A-T-O-M-S, to Adam, A-D-A-M. which is referred to as the Holy of Holies in all of the ancient texts, which serves as a symbol and beacon light of honoring and embracing higher levels of consciousness within ourselves and the world around us. In conclusion, the esoteric interpretation of Hathor and the goddess of the Vulva offers a rich and multifaceted understanding of her role in ancient Egyptian mythology. Thus, by exploring Hathor's connection to the vulva from an esoteric perspective, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the complexities of her mythology and the profound spiritual teachings that it offers. So, as always, in Solomon's Temple, I leave you in peace with these powerful words. There is no yin without yang, and there's no completion without consciousness. Let me say it one more time. I'm going to ring the bell for that. There is no yin without yang, and there is no completion without consciousness. Ashe, ashe, ashe.